there, welcome back. So have you ever stopped to think about what you think about? I mean, really sit down to think about the specific thoughts that bounce around your brain. What's going on up here? How are you spending your thoughts? Recently, I had a conversation with Jeff Eichler, a career coach and a change expert, the co-host of the podcast Getting Unstuck, and the co-author of a new fantastic book called Shifting: How School Leaders Create a Culture of Change. Now, side note, I have read this book and I highly recommend it to any school leader striving to make meaningful change and create more engaging learning experiences for our kids in school today. But we were discussing the concept of neuroplasticity and how the human brain develops through our school age years and continues to grow and change throughout our lives. I mean, every time we learn something new, we grow brain cells and make new neural connections. But the brain also prunes those connections that we don't use anymore. Also, we lose brain cells every day due to stress. We know that an overproduction of cortisol literally shrinks and kills brain cells. The prefrontal cortex, or this part of the brain right behind the forehead, is the very last to develop at about age 25. And this is the part of the brain that handles all the executive functions like decision-making, organization, planning, weighing risks and rewards, impulse control. The prefrontal cortex is part of the frontal lobe, and this is so important because the frontal lobe controls and regulates the other parts of the brain. It helps you control your behavior, make decisions about the future, apply lessons you've learned from the past. But beyond cognitive tasks, it determines your mental models, your perception of self, and how you interact with the world. It's your seat of consciousness. Your state of being lives here. You've heard the phrase mind over matter, right? Well, there is an emerging field of science called Psychoneuroimmunology that has demonstrated the connection between the mind and the body. And this is a great word to remember for two reasons. First, it's worth 39 points in Scrabble. But more importantly, it explains how what happens up here influences your whole body, the nervous system, the endocrine system, and the immune system. Your thoughts release chemicals called neurotransmitters, and these chemicals are transmitted throughout the body where they act as messengers of thought. The thoughts that produce those chemicals allow your body to feel exactly the same way that you were thinking. So every thought or emotion releases chemicals that create that feeling in your body. For example, when you just think about meeting a friend for coffee or reaching some goal that you've set for yourself, the brain releases dopamine and you feel excited or happy. When you think about something that makes you angry or fearful, the brain releases chemicals that make you feel angry and fearful. In response to that bodily feeling, the brain generates thoughts that produce more chemicals as it produces those feelings. So thinking creates feeling, and feeling creates thinking, and this loop creates your state of being. The bottom line is, whatever you spend your time mentally attending to, this is what you are, and this is what you train your body and your mind to become. So ask yourself, what do you spend most of your time thinking about? Maybe it's time to shift your thinking. Want to learn more about how the brain works? By thinking about thinking and learning about learning? Check out my new book, Happier Hour with Einstein, and the full-color companion gratitude journal, available now on Amazon.